Good day there everybody, Adam Cleary here and welcome to our now traditional roundup of all the bollocks, bluster and bizarrely believable reporting ahead of WWE's latest landmark event. Now, depending on your levels of cynicism, this is either a glorified house show designed purely to get a bit of traction in an emerging territory, offset their plummeting TV ratings and make a bit of cash in the process, or it's actually quite a big deal. Right now, I am betwixt the two. Either way, though, Super Showdown arrives in Melbourne this Saturday, and with it comes what culture's most consistently successful video series. We've got betrayals, we've got heel turns, we've got more betrayals, we've got title changes, we've got Wendy goddamn Styles. We are action-packed this week. Anyway, though, we're not getting any younger, so my name is Adam Cleary. This is the Wrestling Rumours Advisory Board, and these are all the last-minute rumours for Super Showdown you need to know. Number 7, the Bellas turn on Ronda Rousey. Speaking of the women's 3-on-3, it potentially gives WWE a good opportunity to lay some of that precious groundwork ahead of Evolution. I'm sure you've heard by now, we're going to get Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey in the main event of that, but we are running out of time to set that up. Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella are the least believable BFFs since Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart, but it does still work if the whole idea behind it was that Nikki was just pretending to be her friend so she could gain an advantage over her ahead of a match they were going to have. So you take that tag match in Australia, you have the Bellas betray Rousey, you hand her her first loss technically at their hands, and all of a sudden you've got a compelling story and a believable reason for them to have a one-on-one match. According to reports in Forbes, Daily DDT, and even comicbook.com, that's precisely what we're getting.
Heel mode! Ronda's been knocked out before, she'll be alright.
Number 6, Buddy Murphy wins the big one. Sort of. Okay, so a point I should probably make here is that one way or another, this show has to matter. WWE, they want to do these big, grand, one-off exhibition events all over the world in the coming years, and indeed with their plummeting TV ratings, the business model kind of depends on it. Right now, though, it works because there's a novelty to this, there's a novelty to the Saudi Arabia shows, but if they start to feel like glorified house shows, that will wear off quickly. For that to work, though, you need things to actually happen. You need storylines to advance, you need titles to change hands, you need people who are there to form genuine, once-in-a-lifetime memories, and people who weren't to wish that they were. Now, yes, it is only the Cruiserweight Championship, but Buddy Murphy winning his first ever main roster title in WWE in front of a hometown sold-out crowd is one of those things. Hence, according to everywhere, he's going to.
He's dating Alexa Bliss.
A new Cruiserweight champion, following in the footsteps of Rich, oh god no, ends, oh no!
What, because he's in his home country? It's WWE, it's more likely to get stingrayed.
Number 5, the Asuka heel turn. Going to cheat a little bit on this one, as it's not from any actual reputable source, nor has it really been reported anywhere, but What Culture's own Andy Murray has a very good theory about Asuka. In his exact words, and apologies Andy for the accent on this,
there's no way they can have the Iconics win without making Asuka and Naomi look like a pair of total dorks. So one of them's gonna have to banter the other one off.
Loosely translated, that means they're going to want another hometown crowd pop for Royce and Kay, but they have not built them up sufficiently to make that win believable. A heel turn for Asuka is so badly needed at this point as well. I mean, after they handed her first pinfall loss to our rapidly improving Carmella, I'm a massive Carmella fan now, by the way, she's basically just treading water during this incredibly important part of her career. So a heel turn, like the one we saw teased against Ember Moon in NXT, could save her, yeah. I am H.O.
Hiro Asuka wa doku desu ka? What? Where's Heel Asuka?
Fighter! Everybody needs good neighbours. Not Naomi, she's not a good neighbour.
Number 4, Wendy Styles gets involved. There's always one, isn't there? Sportskeeda, the absolute kings of banter, in my opinion, are reporting, speculating, saying, I forget which, that WWE are going to fly Wendy Styles all the way out to Australia just to get her involved in the WWE Championship match. The absolute kings of banter. Yes, you see, after weeks and weeks and weeks of home invasion slash who's your daddy slash this really, really weird unnecessary sexual tension between everybody involved in this angle, we now have a third match, I think third, I've lost count, between Styles and Joe. And yes, it does have its stipulations, but Wendy Styles is way, way, way more interesting than any weapon use could ever be. I think that's happening.
But she's at home and away.
There's no bloody way AJ's brought his bloody Sheila to Melbourne.
Looking at AJ's hair, there's some good chance for twin magic here.
Number 3, Kurt Angle makes an appearance. A bit out of left field, this one. I literally had to shoehorn it into the script right before I came in to record it, but Joe Pisich, I don't know, he probably can't pronounce my surname either, has said on the No Holds Barred podcast that WWE are trying to engineer an appearance at Super Showdown for Kurt Angle. Now, this is interesting enough in itself because obviously it's Kurt Angle, but also we haven't seen him in any capacity since Stephanie McMahon told him to take a vacation in August. Speaking on the podcast, Pisich, God mate, I'm so sorry if you're watching, said, Kurt Angle, everybody wants to know what's happening with Kurt Angle. Yes mate, we do. He's been contacted. I just received a text, presumably, about this. Kurt Angle may be appearing at the Super Showdown, believe it or not.
We all have our vices. Mine just happens to be Olympians.
You can interfere in the Constable Corbin-Finn Balor match, but no, you can't actually because the feud that nobody wanted didn't even end.
Number 2, HBK costs The Undertaker. Shawn Michaels is coming out of retirement because apparently there is absolutely nothing that filthy Saudi oil money cannot buy you. And it's almost certainly going to be in a tag team match between DX and the Brothers of Destruction at Crown Jewel, which means they have less than 1 month to set that up. The smart money then is that during the match between Triple H and The Undertaker, there are going to be significant shenanigans between Shawn Michaels, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, the literal mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, Kane. That being said though, given the respective ages and current in-ring prowess of both men, having a lot of smoke and mirrors and a few interference spots will give us a much better and crucially much longer match than we would otherwise have gotten. Now my money, even though I don't carry money on me because it's 2018, Get a Grip, is on a Sweet Chin music, which in case you've forgotten, looks a bit like that into a pedigree, and then that's the finish, and then we get the tag team match. Ah!
Heartbreak Kid, more like Heart Attack Kid. You get it? Cause he's old.
The only mystery left at this point is which of the Undertaker's chins is getting the sweet music treatment. sorry, Taker.
Number 1, someone walks out on the main event. And finally, we've had it teased for a number of weeks now that Dean Ambrose could be set to walk out on the Shield and specifically turn on his brothers, setting up a bit of a feud with Seth Rollins, making him the most needed heel in WWE right now. But at the same time, unbelievably, Dolph Ziggler could be getting beaten up by his 2 pals and cast out of that group. So, now it might be a bluff or a double bluff or a double bluff on behalf of creative, but there are also a lot of reasons why either of them could actually happen. My favourite one is because Dean Ambrose keeps leaving his flak jacket unzipped, meaning he's not fully committed. It's great visual poetry, in my opinion. But either way, loads of places are reporting that somebody's going to walk out or turn in this main event. But will they?
But the Shield are brothers.
He's crazy.
It's WWE, lads. Not happening until about January after, what, how many? 7, 8 months? Yeah.
Money!
Saudi money, baby!
So there you have it. That's every single last minute rumor that I read on the internet, wrote down in this article, and read in front of that camera because I decided that you needed to know it. No need to thank me. Let us know what you made of them all, as well as if you've heard any of your own in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter, Boom Here, What Culture Wrestling on Twitter, Boom Here, and do join us for our live stream of Super Showdown on Saturday afternoon. I think it's with Phil and Nicholas. It'll be great, whoever's on it though, I'm sure. In the meantime though, thank you very much for watching. I have, of course, been Adam Cleary, and I will see you soon. Mwah. Bye.